being a drug lord, how does it feel to be in that world, to be a drug lord?
There's power. Money talks any language. There's no stopping what money can do.
So how are we giving people hope, Chief? People are watching you at home and are saying, Kanti,
we are here to die, so even if it's today, it's fine. You see, I wanted to.
Money and power. You're a real demon.
You're going to lose. You can't fight an enemy you don't know about.
Because you are terrorist, Chief.
It all boils down to respect. You don't know where you are. Yeah. You don't sleep for 2 days, 3 days. You're floating. You're floating. Because I felt light. I felt, I've accomplished what I set out to do.
After killing the person.
Yeah.
Your guys.
When I went to prison, they say, I can see India.
Yeah.
Until they met me.
Nazo sekunjalo futhi. Grace and peace balalena abobukele emakhaya igama Themba Lukhele, otherwise known as Skeem. Kuphi na kuphi indawo ngendawo la unithamele khona. This is Against the Wall. Don't forget to like, to subscribe and to comment. Bese siyashare ke so that the community ikhule kakhulu. I know good besiloko chase ama numbers athize. Ubra Sylvester usenzele imihlolo because everyone was saying drop Sylvester now. Probably we've got another reloaded because vandag in studio with me ngiphethe untate Ravi, Mr. Ravi, umnumzana Ravi, Naidoo. So now le outi kahle hle kubantu abaphile kulama ranks nakulo mhlaba esiphile kuwo akadingi any introduction because lo mjito ubuye ku death row 6 and then ushaye 25 ne Danyane. So when we are talking about the OG, we don't like to embrace kube ngathi amplify message abantu koma original gangsters, but we are talking about someone who has been there, done that. I always talk about you are as good as your last performance. So we are talking about his last performance. He's the minister and the preacher of the word of God. He's a reformed, ex-gang member. Uhambe ngama-rank kahle washaya wonke ama-3 wakhe kubu 26 and makaqedile ungene kwi-underworld masikhuluma about drugs, gangsterism, bullyism labo early teenage pregnancy akunamhlaba angafika ngakuwo. So ngiyayivala masishane bengifuna nje ukuthi ngithi foundation so that you know ukuthi vandag asizange ukuzodla inhlama sizokhuluma into ezi-serious kakhulu. Ntate Ravi, Mr. Ravi, a very good morning to you and yours, sir. Happiest Sunday, ugrand.
Yes, grand.
Nice one. Yabona labantu abalele emakhaya manje sebasho ukuthi endoda lasuka lahlala sengishayile impempe manje. And into emnandi ke ubuya bomageba futhi ungena deep kuyasho ukuthi kahle le ikhumba sigibelanga mahala. Uyahambile lo hambo kahle. You have walked a Jericho mile. Awuthiyami, please kindly introduce yourself so that the people at home bazokwazi ukuthi ubani uzalwa kuphi ubuya kuphi nendawo.
Okay, I'm Ravi Naidoo and I come from Durban, born in Durban and leader of the Phoenix 5 gang, and drug dealer, drug addict, you name it. Siyenzile song.
Leaders. Ngifuna ukungena khona nedaba because the issue of drugs. I think the other day we were somewhere Soweto, so in the presence of the premier, MECs and them. So someone Mage Pagamada said something very profound, and he had said, in fact, drugs, the president, he is really worried why until this present moment, Angagai declare as another second or third pandemic. President would declare COVID, what first pandemic, what declare gender-based violence. Drugs in our country, so Adlula even lenda by drug COVID. So we are on another level. So I started a live, I think 2-3 days ago on TikTok. So I was talking about that issue. I'm not talking about people who are selling drugs and then I'm talking about people now abayuza ama-drugs, abantu abaconsume ama-drugs and how lento affecta also imindeni yabo nama-families wabo. So being a drug lord, how does it feel to be in that world, to be a drug lord?
Okay, let me tell you, drugs is the modern day leprosy. If you read in Bible times, people shun their families. Yeah. We never heard, I've done so much wrong in my life, but my mother didn't shun me. Yeah. But drugs is something that is breaking up families. Communities are ravaged by drugs. And let me tell you, when they're mixing the powders,
Yeah.
they're cutting an animal sacrifice over the powders. So it's no more a physical thing. It's become a spiritual thing. It's very, very demonic. Even the weed that they're growing it hydro. They're lacing it with drugs. It's not even touching the earth anymore. So we have a real pandemic. Every school I visit, I've been to 38 cities in the country last year, and everywhere I go, it is the same problem. They have a drug problem. You know, mothers are crying about the children, grannies are crying about the grandchildren. So it's not only the men or the boys, it's the girls and the women as well.
Yeah.
So the drug lords, they are targeting school children.
Yeah.
I've been to 15 schools last year, and each one had a drug problem. So I believe if we don't tackle this now, we are going to see a real downward spiral in every community.
All right. So interesting, Ravi. Please take me through a life of a drug lord in an ordinary day. Someone will say, and say, I am making money. And a lot of people are saying it's an uncharted territory and it is an underworld. So someone is asking, Guti, are these people gods? Are they lords of the industry? So I'm just asking innocently. So as someone really, because there are people who are asking questions. I mean, of course, Zobonakma comments, they will be asking, good, okay, but Ravi, you mentioned, a portion of you was hectically involved in illicit behavior and in the drug dealing.
You see, I come from a community of drug dealing. We grew up in a community where, it was gangs and violence, and, we grew up that way. And our role models were these guys because they drive nice cars, they dress well, and when, like, nobody sat us down and spoke to us and said, you know what, this is the wrong way, you see. So we focused on wrong role models, okay? And these guys are so blatant that they're doing it legally, you see. And sad to say, the law enforcement is doing nothing about it. And, it's really a thing. I'll put my neck on the block and say, these guys are on the take, so big. I've worked in the communities. I've worked in Thokoza. I've worked in Katlehong and Vosloorus. And when I go to the police station and say, you know what, you know the guys, you can see the activity. But what are they saying? They're saying if we arrest this guy, somebody up there say we must leave him. So it's all about money.
So are you saying it's a self-inflicted pain? And we are actually now talking about something very interesting, where the men in blue, they've got their own handlers. So there is a boss of the boss. So the guy who's on the ground, they'll just give him a shout and say, hey, Muna, touch not. Otherwise, you're going to be in deep shit. So another cop calling another cop, just because of high ranking, and then you are saying, no, because you are a subordinate, you leave that guy.
Yes, it's happening everywhere. I've come from that era. I've been in prison for 25 years. You see, it's happening even in prisons.
Yeah.
Money has power. Money talks any language. There's no stopping what money can do.
Yeah, but people want hope. When you are, these are utterances in your own words, and you are talking as a has been than a never been. So you are talking experience. If someone is listening to you, you are actually talking with conviction. So you are saying, I am telling you, I'm not asking you because of experience. And I've been there, done that. I've paid people. You gave them brown envelopes. They were shake hands behind closed doors and corridors. So how are we giving people hope, Chief? People are watching you at home and are saying, Kanti, what have we betted? We have betted on the wrong horse. Maybe we thought it's a horse, Kanti, it's a donkey. Then the government is there. We've got principals on it. From the president's level, you've got the deputy, then you've got the ministers from DTGs, and up to MECs, MMCs, to the council on the street. So what are they doing, the protocol?
I've spoken to an executive manager. I was part of the local drug action committee of Thokoza, you see. And, to be honest, they are downloading stuff. They come, they have a meeting with the community, but you have no experience. So I said, you know what, we are the guys with the experience.
Yeah.
It takes a crook to catch a crook. You see. So with all your studying at school, if you got no experience, you see, you're still going to lack somewhere. So I believe if the communities stand up as a family, because every community is made up of families.
Yeah.
You know, we got to check our families, and you know, I have children as well. I make sure that they live the right way. You see, we don't encourage, you know, wrong things. You know, even in our communities, I believe that it takes a community to grow up a child.
Yeah.
But we don't want to get involved because these guys are high powered. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, we scared for our lives. You see, I'm not I'm not scared to die. You see, I believe that if we want to really help people, we need to speak the truth. So, as you said, we are really backing a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so but you must use the right tool for the right job. Ungathathi ayina ukokotela ipikiri sidinga ihamura. Now, okay, Tin Mackenzie has put his best foot forward and what 10 fingers on the Bible. Mina, if you ask me, definitely sure, I will combat. He's not saying I'm going to minimize. He's saying I'm going to put a stop. So do you have faith in someone? Because Ut Keatin is one of the people who has been there. You know, I can vouch, I can bet for him. So are you saying he should be given an opportunity? You are definitely sure there's something somewhere will give. Let's forget the politics, but let's talk about the experience, as it were, because Ukeitin is a man of cloth. And as well, I know the spiritual life Ukeitin applies. So I'm not here to advocate for him, but I'm just saying sometimes the truth needs to be told. Let's give credit where it's due.
Yeah. You know, well, I don't know the man. I can't vouch for him.
Yeah.
But as you said, I don't get involved in politics. I don't back anyone in politics, but I back the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're saying we want to stand up and we want to do this, get the right people.
Yeah.
You see, me myself, I work on the streets. Every Mondays we run an organization called Salvation Foundation.
Yeah.
We feed the homeless. I'm coming from Durban now. I've been to the rehabs. I visit the rehabs. I've ministered in bars and prostitution houses, you see. And everybody that has come to that place is taken there by drugs. Every homeless man, 99% of the homeless has been taken there by drugs. Okay, and if we look around, we know, we see, but we don't want to do anything about it. So even with Keaton,
Yeah.
I don't know how much of experience he had in prison.
Yeah.
I don't know how high he's in the ranking.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you say you want to do this,
Yeah.
let's see proof.
The tasting is in the eating.
Is in the eating. I run an organization for ex-offenders.
Yeah.
I give them skills. I teach them catering. I teach them finisher production.
Yeah.
And, you know, I teach them, don't go look for a job.
Yeah.
Create your own jobs.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, bake some cakes, walk the road, sell them. As long as you got a roof over your head, you've got food on your table, be happy, my man.
Vandag, we've got a bishop in the house. I'm sure as well, because experience is the best teacher. People are always crying here. They are always sucking, blowing hot air, promising this and that. Abanye bathi mfethu mina, I am not fortunate enough. I was reintegrated. I'm not lucky. Mina nginebhadi, abanye ngigezile, angigezanga kahle. That is why into zami zingahlangani. So someone who's saying, look, my guy, I hold you by the hand. There's something that's called a mentor and a mentee. Yes. So a mentor grabs you by the hand. So I'm going to try to stretch the conversation, as far as I can. So I want you to take me into your primitive years. What gave birth to a man that we see today? Because remember, you can't just all of a sudden you are vertical above the ground. You wake up early in the morning, we pantit. So take us through the intricacies of life and all the naughty character. I'm talking about the raw you now, raw Ravi.
Okay, me, I led a gang. I was a leader of the Phoenix 5 gang. At the age of 23, I stood before a judge. He said, give me one reason why I must not kill you. I said, well, I never begged in my life. I'm not going to start now. So he gave me
the judge?
Yes, I told the judge, you see, that, I was so arrogant. When I walk down the street, people, they cross the road. They don't want to be on the same side as me, So I never begged. And the judge said, very well, then on count number 1 for murder, I sentenced you to death. I had 6 other counts, 2 attempted murders, rape, indecent assault, and robbery with aggravating circumstance. And the judge gave me 38 years on that. I spent 6 years on death row. I'd lost all my appeals. They measured my neck, my height, my weight, and they were planning to hang me.
It's a movie, Chief.
Yes, but what I believe in, there are people that prayed for me. That people, they were interested in me.
Standing in a gap.
And yes, and because of that, in the Bible says that the fervent prayer of the righteous availeth much. So I believe even in today's world and society, if the churches don't get involved, You know, we're so confined to our four walls.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
people dying out there.
Yeah.
And a clear voice from God said, hey, the people are dying out there. You're enjoying church. So after 6 years on death row, my death sentence was changed to life in prison plus 38 years. So I was going to spend the rest of my life in jail. With that in mind, I joined the prison gangs. I joined the 26 gang. In a couple of years' time, I rose up to be the judge in the 26 gang. So, you know, judge and titles got 8 stars. At power, I was one of the biggest drug dealers in prison. For 15 years, I sold drugs in prison. God is my witness. I used to move the bin load of Dhaka in one day. In one of the prisons, I was only the only shibin there selling alcohol. So, prison is not a deterrent.
Yeah.
It's not a deterrent. Prison is not a rehabilitation center. It's just a name. You are not forced to go and study. You're not forced to go and work.
Yeah.
And when I was like 17 years in prison, like I was maybe 14 years, my wife passed away. I was married at a very, very young age. I was married at 17, so I had 2 boys. And I was 17 years in prison. My father passed away. And then I hit rock bottom. You know, like you can't go bury your father. I respected this man. He's the only man I respected on the face of the earth. And, you know, I even took an advocate and they didn't want to release me from prison to at least say my last respects. And that took me on a downward spiral. So I started to drink every day. I take drugs. And on one Friday, about 18 years in prison, one Friday, I'd taken 13 ecstasy tablets. Not to kill myself. I was just happy and getting high. I was drinking. And 3 days later, I was not sleeping. Now I was drunk. I was drugged. I was paranoid. I was confused. And I put my head on a cell door and said, hey, God, if you're out there, I need you. I don't want to die in this place. And if people are hearing, you know what, my dying in this place was drugs and confusion and you know, being paranoid. But I don't know what's they dying in this place. But if you can say, God, you know what, I don't want to die in this place. I believe that God can hear you. You know, my man, it is good to hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, sometimes we're on a
call.
high, on a low, you know. But to hit rock bottom, it is a good place to be sometimes. You know, because then only hope will arise.
Yeah.
Then only our inner self can come and say, you know what, we either die in this place or we rise up.
I want to talk about that hope. Please don't forget the trail of thought. I don't want to disturb, Chief. This is a very solid and a hectic conversation. So I want to take you back a bit. When you were 23, when the judge said to you, Chief, I'm taking you straight to hell, which was your death row.
Yes.
Do you concur with the judge? The arrogance came from a place of ignorance? Or you said, no, definitely, Velemina, I deserve what is happening because I have done whatever that they're saying I've done?
No, definitely. I was found guilty, and I was guilty of all that they said I had done. And, you know, I thought at that time, you know, being arrogant, well, you know, I think different now.
Yeah.
But at that time, I thought, yeah, well, let's go for it. You know, I was happy to go. When we do something wrong, we don't only affect ourselves.
Yeah.
When I looked at
People
the
around
family, when I looked at the children being without a father, I looked at the
powerful.
wife being without a husband. And in all of that, I said, you know what? If I die, they will forget me in a couple of years, you know, to like ease their pain.
Yeah.
But, you know, now it's been like
Yeah.
over 30-something years, maybe 35 years. But, you know, God can restore.
If you don't mind, because honestly, I always talk about the best powerful tool that anybody or any human being can use in the universe. It's his or her testimony. So we need the testimony. So when you are saying you were hectic, how hectic, if you don't mind being graphic, just to paint a picture,
yes.
for someone who's ignorant, who is still struggling with the same demon that you're struggling from
Yes.
of at that time, can you give us just the synopsis? What were these crimes and your movements? Because you were a shaker and a mover. But we want to
Yes,
know
yes.
what exactly were you moving?
Okay, I killed someone in cold blood. I stabbed them, cut the someone through the neck, and we almost killed
Like
3 people.
butchery?
Yes. So I cut, you know, 2 attempted murders. We stabbed someone 7
Hey,
times,
that's cool,
other one
Chief.
8
Hey.
times. Yeah, we raped 2 ladies that we raped. You know, we robbed the house of pearls. So whoever was in there, we were in such a state or such a mood, we could have killed 10 or 20 people. You know, you never see. And what I want to say, like, you know, when I murdered this person. I stood in the house and I felt something lift off me. So it was a true demonic possession that drove you to do
Twilight
this.
zone. Yeah.
Yes. Because I felt light. I felt, I've accomplished what I set out to do
After killing the person.
after killing the person.
Yeah.
While standing over the body and looking at them and saying, I know what.
Yeah.
I've accomplished what I've set out to do, you see. So for me, it's real demons operating in our lives.
Were there any compelling reasons? Because someone has knocked you, someone has murdered you, someone took your wife, someone. So there's no reason to kill any other
Yes,
person. I'm
yes,
just asking,
yes.
Guti, according to you, because maybe you're delusional, or you're living in illusion.
I think, you know what, coming from a family, you know, I believe that the people loved us, but they don't say it enough, you know. I'm coming from an Indian background where love is not exposed, you know. Dad will give you money, but he won't say, I love you, you know. If you did something wrong, they gave you a hiding. Nobody sat you down and like, you know, like, hey, this guy is no good. We don't want him in our sight.
Yeah.
So I think being like shunned like that as a young man, growing up with violence, you know, looking up to the wrong people as role models, all, you know, cultivated into something that, you know, demonized me, I could say.
Yes. Money and power.
Money and
you're
power.
a real demon. Let's talk about money and power, because what you wanted, priceless positions. You wanted, you know, the biggest ranking.
Yes.
Street cred. So how did you gain? Did you feel at some point, good, no, now I am Pablo Escobar, I am El Chapo, I am on top of the world? Because leading a gang, a Phoenix gang, clearly you don't just get it over counter. You
Yes.
need to do some things, then you earn your stripes.
True. The thing is, I must say, my man, there's no limit to having money. People got billions, but they don't sleep.
Yeah.
They still wake up. They're still thinking where I'm going to make my next billion. You see, you know, the Bible speaks about the root of all evil.
Yeah.
You see?
Money.
Yeah. If you allow it to control you, then it's going to become evil. So, you know, as we make money, we're always looking to make more. And they say easy come, easy goes.
Yeah.
So if the money is coming easy, you're spending it wisely. You're not thrifty. You're not actually putting it in the bank and saving it. You see.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it can control you, and it can buy you a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can buy you happiness. It can buy you good looks.
Yeah.
You know, and it's power. It's power.
So in terms of the schemes and the squads, of course, there's East, there's West, there's North to South. I'm talking about group dominant thinking. These are people who are ruling and raiding at that time. So the conflicts within the gangs, conflict management, what was happening?
Tough wise in the gang.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all boils down to respect. Yeah. If I come to your house, I respect the house.
Yeah.
You come to my house, you respect the house. If you don't respect the house, we throw you out, and maybe in a body bag. So, so you know, even in any society, respect is very important. I teach young boys, young girls. I say it is very, very important to respect.
Respect.
Yeah, it will take you up the ladder. Respect,
Yeah.
discipline. Every gang you go into. I was the judge in the 26 gang. So being a judge, I bring discipline. I sentence you if you do the wrong things, even being in the gangs.
Yeah.
So that's why you have rankings in gangs.
You're a
So
law
that's
and order.
Yes, you bring discipline. So being a judge, I sentence you. And I won't go into detail, but it's like six sentences in the 26 gang. And the last sentence is death sentence. We can give you a death sentence. We can give you from you know, small discipline.
Petty crime,
Small discipline to actually giving you a death sentence.
Yeah, it's like in prisons. You've got your light nyana until your ultra maximum prison.
That's it.
Is it?
7 years I was a D group. No contact with the outside world. So, because you got like group D, group C,
You're
group B,
crazy,
group
yeah.
D, yes, you come up the ranks.
Yeah.
So the naughty you are, the lower you are in the grouping.
So it means there was evidence and proof. No, we are going to prison. So I wanted to unpack this thing nicely as we are coming with it. So in terms of now you making money in unscrupulous ways and with the people that you are with, you mentioned the Phoenix gang or the 5 Phoenix gang.
Yes.
what happened to the other members? Is the very same movement still alive? Because I know this thing, it's more like it's a baton or a baton. People, they pass it on for generations to come. It's
Yes.
layers and layers. So what's going on?
I
What's
think
the status?
5 of us were sentenced to death. So I think that in itself, it died down a bit, and others grew up. You see, so there's many gangs that came up after us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still a household name in Durban. I can say that. They do roll out the red carpet for us, but on a different basis
platform
now. Yes, a different platform now.
So you are doing a good.
Yes,
It's more of you are saying, no, we need to pay back humanitarian cause.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So this is why we run the organizations. This is why we do what we do. We see the end result. If I go to a school, I tell them straight, you know what? You're allowed to make 100 mistakes, but I've made 50 for you.
Eish.
So I'm telling you, don't walk the path I'm going to, because I can see the end result. And the end result is either the graveyard or prison. You see, I thank God that I went to prison.
Yeah.
Most of my friends are dead. So that was my escape route, prison.
Yeah. So you've paid for the sins of your youth.
Yes, I did. Yes. I was 23 when I went into prison. I came out when I was 48.
Yeah.
So
no, I know. If we know, even around the times of, I would call it, on a lighter note, that political violence. Because now I remember the times of the IFP, the ANC during the 90s, 1990, 91, 92, 93.
Yes.
And I'm sure it ended around the times of 1995. So your guys, at the time you were busy, what was the feeling and the mood around Ikasi? Because you are terrorist, chief. You are arranging a reign of terror.
Yes.
You are saying, when I come, there's no oncoming traffic. Scaife.
That's true. I believe, let me say this, politically or racially, I believe that the Indian was an easy target.
Yeah.
When I went to prison, they say, I can see India.
Yeah.
Until they met me. So, I think Indians culturally were not violent.
Yeah.
We're more the white collar crime, you see.
Yeah.
But today it's totally different. So you can't use past references to judge people on today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and nobody's going to just give up something that they worked for many, many years. I remember I was in one riots. It was 1985, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nanda and things, you see. And we all stood up and said, no, what, we can't, just give out what we worked for, you see.
Yeah.
So I believe the dynamics are totally different, you see.
Now.
People are carrying guns and people are, yeah. And fear is the worst enemy of man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm scared of you, my best thought is, let me kill you first.
Okay.
Law of the jungle, kill or be killed. You see, so I think they really took a chance on that one. Yeah, going back to Phoenix, and everybody else came out and said, "Hey, they massacred and things," but it was not so. I think they were just defending themselves.
Is it?
Yes.
Hey, I don't want to enter into that uncharted territory because things that are politically and church related, soccer and what. I try not to deliberate on those because we don't get to agree. We would agree to disagree until the morning. So now leading to a prison, because there was a build-up and you could tell, did you ever think at some point that you were going to be arrested and be brought to book?
I don't think anybody that's doing crime thinking that, hey, I'm going to be arrested. I don't think that's the last thing on his mind.
Yeah.
The devil has blinded the minds of people. Yeah. And let me tell you this, people, they're selling their souls to the devil.
Yeah.
In place of money, And what the devil does, he gives you a cornerstone to build. Yeah, you build your house on this cornerstone, and when you're up there, one day you've got all the cars and all the money and all the fame and all the fortune. Now the devil wants to come and stay with you. But you're saying, hey, I know people, and you know what, you can't come and stay with me. He said, well, give my cornerstone back.
Yeah.
So whatever is built on that is broken. And this is where the suicide is coming in.
Yeah.
I stand here and I see people go in the house and hang themselves. Coming off drugs. Coming down from drugs is the most depressing state you could ever be in.
Yeah, sad ending story.
Yes, sad ending story.
Yeah, right. I want us now to dive in deep on that, Njalon, because I interviewed a learned gentleman by the name of Ukletstein. Boys, now Ukletstein went deep, deep, deep. He said, Emuna, there's a dark tunnel. When you are on drugs, Chief, when you are high, you're chasing high. There's no enough, there's no stopping. And he had said, the things that I have done, let me tell you, Skeem, I can tell you, when they say, they had code names. When they say Ulu, that Ilu, it stands for Illuminati. So they abbreviate everything else.
Yes.
They are pulling a wool on someone who is not part of, whatever that's happening at that time. So I had said to him, please, man, give us that scenario, and then we want to be there for a day, walk in your shoes when you are on drugs. And now he says, hey, Chief, when we are talking these orgies, when you are doing the unthinkable. So what prompts someone in their spirit to do the unthinkable when you're on drugs?
Let me say, you get so high sometimes. You're just sitting here and see horses running. You're just running with the horses, my man. You see? And then when a man is disillusioned,
Yeah.
even if a child running past, he's looking at it, hey, this is a demon. Hey, matiklosh yadlula lapha.
Yeah.
Yabona?
Wentokolosh.
Yabona yabona? So tati kelembe noma isando shayingane yabona. Umba logo, when he's down, he said, yo,
Ngenzeni?
wenzeni? Too late.
You are seeing things.
You are seeing things.
Drugs.
You're hallucinating.
Yeah.
You're hallucinating.
What world is this, Chief? And what level of nonsense?
I am telling you, it is demonic. I'm a demon, Baba.
Yeah.
Yes, because these guys call sangomas to pray over the drugs before they sell it. They're calling witch doctors to pray over these things so that we can be prosperous.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're cutting an animal sacrifice over it.
Yeah.
So this is no more physical thing. That's why the guy hitting one hit and you hooked for life. You can't come out. I talked to guys on the street and they said, hey, I don't want to go back home.
Yeah.
I'm stealing the meat from the fridge and selling it. I was in Durban and a guy came with the frozen sausages to pound it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, how low can we get? Someone's cooking the food on the table or on a stove.
Yeah.
The mother goes to the bedroom, come back. The cooked food is gone.
Yeah.
They're stealing the food and selling. This is how low we've become with drugs.
Yeah.
Every robot you go and see, there are young people begging.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What has drove them to do that? The devil came to steal, kill, and destroy.
John 10:10. Tell me, is there a voice maybe somewhere that's whispering? Because you are saying you are seeing things, you are hallucinating. So is this the spirit? Is it a mind state? Is it? I'm just trying to. I'm not sure if I'm making sense to you.
No, you are. I was high one day. I'm standing on a high-rise building, and like a joke, this voice is telling me, "Hey, jump!" From I think 11 or 12-story building. And he said, hey, the people is going to laugh at you. They want to say, hey, Ravi was so high and he jumped. But he's not telling you, hey, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You see? So with that, I had to move away. God was still protecting me in that state, I must say. Because, it's not like, hey, you're going to die. It's like, it's a joke. Jump.
Yeah.
So demons are speaking voices.
Yeah.
I've had encounters where I've had two voices speaking to me.
Yeah. You need to act.
You need to act.
Yeah.
Be careful of the voices we're listening to.
And another one, I believe it's amplified. The one that's talking nonsense, it's always louder.
Why would a man kill himself? Why would a man just go and say today, hey, I've got wife, I've got children, but I go hang myself?
Yeah. If there was that one message, Mr. Ravi, because we are going deeper and deeper, and you want to tell someone now, he's standing somewhere in Soshanguve, in a Trechville, somewhere in the corner, because Epitori, it's rife now.
Yes.
And these drugs are becoming substandard by day. Because at first, yes, they would say, okay, this one is the rich man's cave. But no less, they are smoking and drinking anything and everything. It's petrol, it's whatever. So if you're talking to a man who is on drugs now, and you want to give him a message, from the heart, we are not speaking to the ear now, or to the mind.
Yes.
From heart to heart, you are talking to that young person. And even females now, it's worse.
Yeah, true. If I can say, don't try to give it up on your own. You're not going to lose. You can't fight an enemy you don't know about.
Yeah.
You see? So, if I can say from my heart, you need God. You need a supernatural intervention. You need someone higher than you, because these powers that are engulfing your life,
Yeah.
they are demonic. This is a spiritual world we're playing with.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought weed was herb
Yeah.
growing in the earth.
Yeah.
Now they're not touching the earth. The
grows
prices
somewhere
of
in labs.
hydro is growing in a room with chemicals, with the lacing with the heroin. If we saying weed is 10 rand, hydro is 150 rand, why is the price different? I smoked hydro, maybe 3 or 4 pulls, and was high for 2 to 3 hours. So weed can't do that. We smoked weed all our lives. Growing up, we smoked weed. We got goofed. Utagiwe.
Yeah.
We smoked drugs growing up. Said dagiwe. For a minute, you don't know where you are.
Yeah.
Namhlanje, you don't sleep for 2 days, 3 days. Yandizi moyen. Suphezulu lapha.
You're floating.
You're floating. You see, you need something else to come down.
So when they say someone is on top of the world and you feel like Emuna, I am the chief, I am the prince, I am the king, that's the feeling apparently that you get. You feel good. No, nothing will ever stop you. You can actually stop the speed of a bullet.
That's it. When you're high, you're not thinking rationally.
Yeah.
You know, there's no drug you can say I'm pulling in a scave to enhance myself, because we're breathing oxygen.
Yeah.
Going to the lungs, go to the brain, and oxygen enlightens the brain. But if you're pulling something else, you're dulling the brain. So you're no more on a high, you're actually on a low. Because you out of this world.
Yeah.
Your mind is not functioning properly. You're somebody else. You're not the same person you are when you're in your natural state.
You are talking a health issue. Someone is intoxicating their organs. So I understand the issues of brain damage and if you can just maybe enlighten us, Uguti, what does a drug do? When someone pulls that one scave, I don't care what kind of drug. I'm just talking about a drug. Because even alcohol, people don't understand. They're saying drugs are drugs, and alcohol gets you high, and then you are feeling some things. And I was just talking to a lady yesterday, and then she was saying to me, Emun, the savannah in a trouble. Isavana, when you drink it, sometimes ikhuluma nepaint. If you ufuna juhlisa ipaint nje, liba loose. Yekhanda mara mele uwazi bese uyohlisa nepaint. So maybe with drugs, what does it do to the organs?
You know, it dries your blood. Now your body needs blood flowing over the body. That's where you get your nutrition from, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're pulling in oxygen, blood goes to the brain.
Yeah.
It's carrying oxygen to the brain. So when you're smoking, it's actually drying you out. It's dehydrating you. So you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
When you're high on coke or ecstasy or something, you can eat a sweet for 2 hours. You can't swallow.
Yeah.
The only thing you can take down is liquid, a warm liquid or something. You see. So I believe this drug, the ecstasy, was made for soldiers, where it brings your level of temperature down.
Is it?
It lowers your body temperature.
Yeah.
I've taken ecstasy 5 a day, 10, right up to 13.
Yeah.
You don't feel hungry, and you don't sleep. You can't even close your eyes. You can't even blink your eyes. Your eyes are wide open.
Let's add this line. They spoke about ecstasy being a love pill. Can you, that potion, if maybe you know about it, because someone is on ecstasy, immediately they are lovely. Yeah, they could kiss everyone, they're hugging and what. What's going on with that?
Skeem, I'll be high on ecstasy. I'll be sitting here talking to you for 4 hours. And after 4 hours, I'm coming down and realize I don't know this person. Then. And I can't remember what we were talking about. So, you know what? It's like, it confuses you. You know, people have the wrong notion. You know, when I sell you something, I must say it does this and does this and does that. I mean, I've smoked the drugs, I've drank the alcohols, I've did all these things.
Yeah,
it's not what people are saying.
Now, can you imagine? Because now we are hopping into the prison. So you are in prison and then you are taking this thing, Chief. The whole day you are doing nothing. At least when you are outside, maybe you can try and redirect your mind and think about something else. Your girlfriend, you are figure. Maybe you are pushing Yana, talks Yana in prison. Now, just before we get to that, because I want us to, really take our time when we get to a prison. Hey, this is a beautiful conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You are still tuned into Against the World. Sahle no Themba, Nekrotmane, Ravi, Naidoo from Durban, Phoenix to be precise. So now they sentence you you are getting a death row. Now
Yes.
you get to a prison. That first day, or maybe on the truck to a prison, because you are a maximum now, or ultra maximum
Yes,
prisoner. When you are in that truck with your co-accused, the conversations there, Mandela sometimes we talks about the conversations with myself. So I want to understand the conversation that you are having at that time. You are sentenced and you are going there. Whether you are sober, you are high or not, what was that conversation?
Going to death row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw half a munch. We're going to die now. They've got us at last, So for me, I don't know about the others, but for me, I was prepared to die. As I told you before, that to think about putting our families to what we've put them through. Sometime on a Christmas day, they come to the prison at 8 o'clock, but they'll see you at 1 o'clock for 15 minutes. Wait the whole day and thinking about the children and the kids. So we're not affecting ourselves. And that affected me badly. So to every one of us, we still have our conscience. We still have that inner something that tells us, what, hey, we're on the wrong path and we've disturbed the family, we've disturbed the community and society. And now society don't want us anymore. So for me, I was ready to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Umfundisi the other day. Use Leokop. Now Umfundisi says to me, we were sentenced to life. At the first conversation that they had, in the chain prayer. When I was giving my life to Christ, it was not easy. I was at my lowest, in your own words.
Yes.
So he said, guys, whoever who wants to join in with me, we are in for a high jump, Chief. There's no way we are not coming back. We are gone. So the only way to live that life, let's just maybe ask God, for forgiveness, and also to extend, our stay on earth, because we don't know what's going to happen in prison. And then they started with the chain prayer. The other guy said, hey, you are drunk before you get to prison. Stop with that nonsense. That's witchcraft. I'm not praying nothing here. And then later, he felt a hand. And then here is this guy, Pastor Tofi, by the way. Here is this guy. And then he started praying, and he prayed for them. That was the day when they were going straight. So that is why I was asking about that feeling, you going to prison. Now, here is the giant dog. Here are these walls. You are going into prison. I believe maybe you were in and out at some stage, because obviously you are in the life of crime.
Yes.
They're welcoming there in prison.
Yeah, you see me, I was very arrogant. And me in Fishan, Baba.
Yeah.
So me, I stand on a bed and delela. Everyone might see me, see. So in fact, when I went to the waiting trial at Westville, one day they broke the cupboard lids for me. They want to shire me, you see. I wasn't even picking up the number. But I was too arrogant. So I'm thinking, hey, I'm here for something big. You can't touch me.
You
can't tell me about number, this, that. So, and then these guys say, hey, this one is a crunk one, man. I will plan hello. So better we join him, or better he join us. So that's why they gave me the number as well. Better is on our side, because this one I will plan him.
But how long did it take Ravi to take that number? Of course, you were assessing. You got to prison. You had to find your ways, and stuff.
Yes.
But how long did it take?
I think after 3 months. 3 months.
There was no any other way, because I am here and I'm here. I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna die. You see, and we coming from the gang life, so we know how the gangs operate.
Yeah.
You see.
Yeah.
So better you join them and then beat them.
Okay. Sometimes, Mr. Ravi, when you get to prison, kunabantu on the outside as a free man, benikura benilwa, and these people are rival gangs. So you get to prison, now you are confronted with these demons. Now people are looking at you and saying, "Yeah, chief," and they are the biggest gang in prison. What happens in that instant?
You see, people got the wrong notion of gangs. You see, outside the gangs are different. In prison, the gangs are different.
Yeah.
You see, no one's gonna just walk up to you and stab you, or walk up to you and rape you. You understand? It's you that give in to them. If I came new to prison, now I want to hey, this is my friend, or this. There are old timers in prison. There are just you see. So if I come to you and I say, you know what, listen, what you've got, you say, I've got nothing. So I give you food and give you cigarettes and give you, you see. Now you think I'm your best friend.
Mm.
Now when it comes in the night
Eish.
now, ngiyafuna lezi zinto zami manje.
Payback time.
Payback time. And I know you got nothing. How are you going to pay back?
Yeah.
Ngiyashela yabona.
Eish.
Without
Eish.
I'm raping you, without I'm fighting with you, you see.
But are people obligated or compelled to really perform zonke lezi zinto lezi? I call it witchcraft. To rape people, violate people, whether protected or unprotected. Are you really forced as a gang man? Because I mean, obviously, our gangs are operated differently.
Yes,
we're talking
yes.
28, we're talking the 6s, the 5, or
yeah.
the 7s,
Yeah.
and then the big 5s, and.
Yeah, but you see, a 26 is not allowed. Uhlala namfana, but
Yeah.
unless we're on my ranking, so we as an school boy, yeah, clean, he clean us, you see. But the thing is, as I'm saying, you see, when I went to prison the first time, I told my co-accusers, hey, see, first I'm a boots lab. Yeah, we're prepared to die here. You see, we're here in for a big cases, you see.
Yeah.
We're coming into prison with a reputation from outside.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And people are gonna watch us now. Even the gangs outside are gonna say, let's see these guys now. We were all young. We were young. I was 23. My co-accusers were 18, 19, 20, 21, you see. So I said, hey, it's first my boots lap. The first one come. Yeah. So I think we were about a month or something in prison, and then one guy came up and he smacked my co-accused. Hey, that was the mistake they made. We tramped him, man. I said, this is the last chance to show who's Ravi Naidoo
affiliated
is.
with the gangs.
Yeah.
You didn't care less.
He didn't care less. So there was a real uproar with the gangs and things, you know. But then we said, this man had no right to do what he did, you see. So, you know, and sometimes you have to stand up, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to stand. And I think we had this big heart where, you know what, we are here to die, so even if it's today, it's fine. You see?
We are going to die.
We're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We
The
killed
first prison. Which prison were you in?
We're at that time was CR SWATs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there for like 3 weeks under investigation.
Yeah.
And then we were the first prison to Westville.
You shook that prison.
Yeah, Westville was shivering. Yeah, really.
Right. I'm going to talk about something now different, because when you are in prison, people are focusing on the orange. Let's leave the orange. We've been talking about the orange. I'm focusing on the brown now. I want the analysis from you. I want you to diagnose, you know, and even if you could wear a cap or the boots of the brown, Uguti, how are these people thinking, Chief, and operating? Because the brown, there's something, there's a dark cloud there in that brown. Then also coupled with now the whole corruption nonsense that's happening behind bars, because a lot of people are saying, hey, lesi isikolo, abanye bathi Danyane, abanye bathi kunemidiyadi, abanye bathi kusehangeni, whatever you call it, abanye bathi kusesgele, abanye bathi university, it doesn't matter, it's prison.
Yes.
But let's talk about the brown and all the negative significant events that they bring into prison.
Yeah, you know, people don't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
It is not my job to look after you. You see, in the old regime, if I can say, if you went to prison, if you got up in the morning, there's a certain time you need to wake up.
Yeah.
You need to be out the bathroom by 6 in the morning. You need to stand with your ticket and your toothbrush.
Yeah.
If you didn't shave for one day, you get a 3 meal. So in other words, they'll like take you today in the afternoon, maybe it's Monday afternoon, you'll eat Wednesday morning again for not shaving one day. If your button was not put right, 3 meal. If you hit somebody, 30 days spare diet. Now 30 days spare diet is, first week they put you in isolation for 30 days. The first week, you're going to get porridge only, water. No sugar, no salt. For the whole week, you lose about 5-6 kgs.
Yeah.
The next week, they give you half ration. Whatever this house giving you half of it. The next ration again, porridge, you see. So even in internal, you had sentences.
Yeah.
They kept the law, you see.
Yeah.
Nowadays, my man, there's no law in prison. I'll be honest with you. In those days, you had to get up, go to work, you know.
Yeah. For a skill.
Yes. Go to do skills development and things. But today, we don't have all that. Nobody forces you to get up. You can sleep all day if you want to.
Yeah.
You can just lay around for 20 years in prison. So there's no rehabilitation in prison.
Yeah.
If I didn't get up one day and say, you know what, hey, I need to change my life and study, you see. And, I can proudly say I educated myself in prison. I have 3 diplomas coming out of prison. I have a teaching diploma through UNISA. I have a diploma in business management. I have a diploma in theology. I have a national certificate in electrical engineering. I studied catering, home decoration, furniture production, reupholstering. I studied all this in prison. I wanted to.
We are going to talk about that turnaround because it's very important for people to know.
Yes.
That I'm sure the penny has dropped. I just want to know, Uguti, sometimes you ask yourself, Uguti, where, why, how did you answer? And I want that turning point in your life. But now we are still talking about the negative now, significant events. But I'm focusing on the brown. You mentioned the issue of drugs,
Yes.
which is very poignant for us to, obviously tell people so that they are aware and educated. And we teach also young boys and girls to unlearn some certain things.
Yes.
But now the brown, there is nothing that happens without a brown.
No,
even gangsterism and that part.
They've got the keys, my man. Yeah. They've got the keys to lock and unlock us. So they've got the keys to unlock anything or lock anything. And I was in prison for many years. You see, we need to have a source.
Yeah.
We need to have the doors open. And the people in Brown, they helped us with that. So, as I said, there's no law in prison.
Yeah.
There's like now there's no right way and wrong way.
Yeah.
Everybody is right, you see.
Yeah.
So, to tell you that they don't do the job or they don't do the job what they get paid for.
Yeah.
They are unskilled in what they are doing.
They are present but not available.
Not available. But they are unskilled.
Yeah.
You see, I think every warder in prison, the skill he gets is to carry the baton and take you to the dining hall and bring you back.
Yeah.
So people's skills, they haven't got people's skills.
Oh, yeah.
See? And for me, the worst thing was
that's powerful. Yeah.
introducing women to a male's prison, men's prison. When I went to prison in the 80s, there was no woman in a men's prison, working in a men's prison. But today, it's a 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
At one time, the guy was stabbing somebody and all the males ran away and let the man die. So how you you're supposed to be protection. You're supposed to be protecting my life.
Yeah.
When I'm in danger, you are there to guard me.
Yeah.
You see. But now if you can't guard me, you run away.
Yeah.
What are you guarding? What are you getting paid for?
Yeah.
You see. And then when they introduce females to the male prison, so you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But telling
And
office man,
yeah.
they're just coming out of school or coming into the prison. So there's no work being done. So where you're supposed to be taking the guy to the social worker, make sure this guy goes and does all his the skills, things that he needs for the 7 criteria for rehabilitation and release, you see.
Yeah.
So that's what your job is. So how skilled are you in that field, if I may say? If I'm working with the homeless, if I'm working with drug addicts and things, I should have some knowledge of, even if I didn't take drugs, I need to go skill myself somewhere to say I need to do this. So nobody's forced to rehabilitate in prison.
Someone said something. There is a situation here where a certain prison, there's a certain head of prison, but to HCC, or Low-Head Correctional Center. So whenever there were gang wars and there was just that, unrest in prison, what he would do, he would make sure he arranges about 3 or 4 buckets of dacha. Because dacha is the only thing that is a common denominator. And then that will calm down the people. But how true and organic is that statement, Chief?
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. Stabbings in prison sometimes is because of the warders.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bring the knife.
Yeah.
If they've got a beef with somebody, another prisoner, you see,
they
can pay someone to stab him, you see. We've experienced all this in prisons. Yeah, I've been to 5 prisons in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they like no different from each other.
Yeah.
You see, and I've been to one prison, and in 5 years everything like went downhill. The farms, it is a farm prison.
Yeah.
They're not growing things anymore. When I first got there,
It was green.
it was green. We
Yeah.
don't buy meat because it's a dairy. It's
Yeah.
a dairy farm. It's cattle farm. And,
Do we still call it corruption? Why was the building, dilapidated, and it was a rundown building? There were no services.
I
and
think
it's
skills.
because
skills. Around our country, we're having the same problem.
Yeah.
You put an unskilled person in a place where you need skill. You see.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know, you take a man like studied like me. I've got a diploma in teaching.
Yeah.
Now, if you put me now in gardening,
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about gardening, but I still have a diploma.
Yeah.
I'm still educated.
Yeah.
You see, so my skill and my field don't coincide.
Let's talk about the college, my guy. There's a college. These people, they go to college. So are they wasting time there? Or are they basking in the sun? Because in college, they're supposed to get that induction and crash course.
True.
Are they not skilled in prison? Because at least, even if you are a close protector guy, you are in security, there would be a time where they are saying, let's go to shooting range. So are you saying with now their presence, you are inducted one day, the next thing you are done? Maybe let me add on this so that this thing could make perfect sense. There's something that's called as... in terms of the skills, anger management and life skill.
Yes.
So someone asked a very important question. What do you give me, Skeem? Do you think that life you're moving will change in a week? These people, they leave you for 15 years. Now, when it's about time for you to be reintegrated, they send you to CMC Case Management Committee and they're saying you must do a course for a week. But how can you transform one's life in a week?
My man, I was over 20 years in prison.
Yeah.
And after 20 years, they sent a psychologist to me. And he's asking me, are you remorseful? I said, for what? He said, for what you've done. I said, my man, you come after 20 years to... You mean for 20 years I was supposed to live my life in regret? I'm supposed to hold this against me for 20 years so that now today you could come and say... I said, I've got no remorse. I've forgiven myself. I've asked for forgiveness. I've educated myself. I've changed my life. I've changed my work. My mindset is different. So you are useless, you coming here. And now I can't go back and say, because I want to be released, I need to say now and speak a lie over myself.
Yeah.
I can't. You see? When I was studying...
I wonder what was the response, Chief.
Hey, we had a big fight.
Is
When
it your demonic?
Yes.
This one is not rehabilitated.
That's what they say. Even the warder asked me, why would you say that? I said, I'm speaking the truth. I don't want to live I live my life. I lived a lie for many years in my life. Being in the gangs is a lie. Taking drugs is a lie. Living in somebody else's world.
Yeah.
I don't want to live that same again. Even up till today, I don't want to go back in that. I told the biggest drug dealer in Durban, I'd rather eat grass than sell drugs again.
Yes.
I'm not going to go back. It took me
But
25 years to get here.
You became a gang member in prison, and being a gang member and a gang leader, not just in jail, I don't want us to go much on the 6s and the 8s and the 7s.
Yes.
But around that time, whilst you were, presiding over, as there are generals and what was that, one thing that you don't regret? And you're saying, vele mina hai, bengikhipha number mina. And of course, the prison mele hlanga. So what's that one thing that you don't regret about being a gang member? Because I always ask people,
Yes.
hey man, what is that you are regretting? The one thing that you're saying, better beng balaya, bayaphetha bekuyisikhathi sami.
But you see me, I was a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Every prison I went to, I'm the room man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put the discipline in the room.
Yeah.
And that helped me now to
structure your life. Yeah.
Yes. You know why? In prison,
Yeah.
you're living with like 60, 70 in a room.
Yeah.
30, 40 got TV, radios. You got TVs. And
Frying pans now.
you see,
Yeah.
so everybody is talking. So in my room, 9 o'clock lights out, nobody talks. Nobody smokes in my room. No one plays music loud in my room. You see, if you want to do that, you toilet. Go to the toilet, you smoke in the toilet, put ashtrays, put benches there. So I've always kept the peace in the room where I stayed.
Oh, the comrades. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, always. I was always about peace, even in the gangs. Even when the gangs were at war in one prison,
Yeah.
I was the one that brought peace to the 26 and the 28.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it because you were pushing your thing? If you sold drugs for 15 years, and when there's watch, if it disturbs your business.
It closed everything up.
Yeah.
You see, we come to a prison,
Yeah.
and if the head of the prison, they know us, hey, these are ranking guys,
Yeah.
call you straight. Listen, I know there's no dustbin to throw your medals,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're not working the blood. Work the money. Work your crown. Ungasebenzi kazi.
Yeah.
Sebenzi crown. So what he's telling us, I'm not going to vala you. I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah.
You see, but
Brother,
I don't want
please,
blood here in my.
Order, comrade.
You see, so we vala all the paramas.
You are destined to conquer.
Yes.
Ravi, I see skeletons. You know, once you see a skull, you must know good there's a problem somewhere here. So the inspiration. Now I want us to I'm just going to give you a free flow. Now as we are wrapping up, it's where then you can talk to your people. These are our people. I want you to, state your case and the transformation, a reformed gang member, and then what actually now informed. And that decision for you to say, I know it's a turnaround, man. I mean, I'm done. I don't want to see myself Nila and the inspiration. You writing a book. Was this an idea that came a prison, or you wrote the book while you were outside? This is your last 5 minutes as we are wrapping it up.
Okay. One thing I can say to everybody that's listening in, that's watching, that, choose a place and a time. Everybody builds a house, it comes to the ceiling, and that's it. You can't build above that now. You see?
Yeah.
So we are great. I'm grateful that I'm still alive today. After all the things that have been in my life, I'm still alive today. So look in the mirror. And the person that's looking back at you, is he the right role model for you? Look at yourself and say, you know what? We too quick to look at other people, blame others for our wrongs, But look at yourself. Where have we failed? Where have we come short? And in that reason, this is the day I need to change. This is the day where I'm saying, you know what? I either die or live. And for me, after 18 years in prison, that was the time I said, I either die in this place or I live. And you know what, Skeem, after 18 years, I looked in the mirror and saw, hey, this is a handsome looking dude, man. I began to love myself. Yeah, I began to like who I've become. I've changed myself, hide in myself, read the Bible, started to study, improved myself. Whatever I've lacked growing up, I started now to gain. When I travel around, I've been to many cities. And the one thing I tell them is, if you can't love yourself, there's no way you're going to love somebody else. If you can't like what you look like, there's no way you're going to like somebody else. It all starts with us. Change must start within us. And then we need God. In our quiet time, you don't have to shout on the street praying. Go in your quiet time. When you're alone, ask God to reveal himself to you. Ask God to help you. And, I started this book in prison. And that was my one dream, is to write a book. The first thing I came out when I was on day parole after 24 years, I took my license out, driving license. I saw myself driving. The year I came out, 2012, 2013, I bought a brand new car, 00 on the clock. I'm living a life. I'm enjoying the best years of my life. Sober, vigilant, and helping people. I tell people, when it's to glorify God, invite me. There's no charge. I don't charge a fee. People, they bless me. I don't put, nobody can afford me. You can't. I'm too expensive. What God did for me is priceless. Yeah, we're dealing with dollars. I've just sold 4 books 2 months ago with dollars in America. So my book is in 51 countries in the world. And living a good life, God has progressed me. Today afternoon I'm in Ennerdale, and I'm booked right to the end of July now. To go and speak, travel to schools, travel. You see, what have I done to deserve all this? Coming from the gangs and the naughty, drug dealer, drug addict. All I did was change my mindset. All I did was say, you know what, I'm tired of that life. I tried it. It didn't work. I'm still alive. I'm grateful. Let me try something new. Sometimes we try things for 10 years.
Yeah.
If you have an argument with your wife or your children for 10 years, you try to scold them and swear them, and it doesn't work. It's not going to work for another 10 years.
Yeah.
Try something different.
Change your play area or change your playmates.
That
was Mr. Ravi Naidoo. Where do we get your book, and how can our people get in touch with you when someone wants you to speak? Maybe there's a one-on-one. Someone is listening to you and saying, hey, Muna, this is the guy I've been looking for. Someone who's dealing with drugs, someone who's acting on drugs, someone who's now dizzy as they come. It's a Sunday, but they're high on something.
Yes.
But they want to get in contact with Mr. Ravi. And when can they get your book as well?
Okay, my book is on Amazon. You can download it on Amazon, Smashwords, and Kindle Store. I have hard copies that I'm selling as well. They're 320, 260 pages. Yeah, I can leave my number if people want to contact me.
Yeah. Please go ahead, my brother. If you want to deal and you want to manufacture drugs and not that, please don't call. Mara, if you want something positive, you can call Mr. Ravi. I know people, when they leave numbers, it's always a smash. But you can leave your numbers for bookings and also for ordering your book.
Okay, my number is 066 444 5980.
The platform inamandla, Chief.
Yes.
Le inamandla lesilele ku 100,000, Chief.
Wow.
And ifoni yakho izovibrate, abantu bazokufuna abantu esifuna le ndoda yomndiya. Insizwa yangempela. Ithi yapeyita le out maqala ukukhuluma behind the scenes. Ithi Chief, ngimile inkumbuzo umsholozi edladleni. Bafethu, keep on and stay blessed. We love you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon until we meet on the next episode. uNkulunkulu uyanthanda nathi siyanthanda. Keep well. Nibe right.